How to raise children who add value. I met someone recently and she was sharing with me how she had planned her midterm break. It's midterm break, by the way. She wanted her children to stay with her sister while she got some things done. She called her sister and her sister declined. I also remember a friend of mine a couple of years ago, she had some children come over to visit her and she literally had to pray for them to go, for something to happen, for the children to go back, because it was more than stress. Now, the topic is how to raise children who add value. My name is Enemy Rebel, and this is Parenting with Enemy Rebel. So, how to raise children who add value? What does it mean to add value? Adding value simply means that you have children who come to a place and leave the place better than they met it. Children who contribute more than they consume. Children who make things easy and not more difficult. Children who solve problems and not create problems. Yes, now you don't have to be an adult to add value. No, everyone and anyone can add value at any time. Now, this is where parents get it wrong, because I shared something on TikTok and someone said, auntie, I beg, let children be. What value can children possibly add? Really? Are you kidding me? Anyone and everyone can add value, So here's what we are doing today, learning about how to raise children who add value. Firstly, we don't give what we don't have. So a child who doesn't have value cannot give value. So your child has to learn to give value in the home where he is. Your child has to learn to take care of themselves. I say to parents a lot that, see, your child will not live with you in your space forever. A time will come, your child will go out. Because many children are in private school, and so private school, they don't dare, have children do one or two things. So children when they don't add value at home, they don't add value in school, they don't add value anywhere. But your child will not live with you forever. A time will come, they will go out. Now, this is especially important for parents who have domestic staff or nanny at home, so who do all the things for their children. If children do not learn how to clean after themselves at home, tell me, when they go out, how would they learn how to clean after themselves? It is a simple truth. A child who eats cannot clear his table. When they go out, they will eat and not be able to clear their tables. A child who sleeps and cannot make the bed, a 6-year-old, a 7-year-old, an 8-year-old who sleeps and cannot stretch their bed or tidy their rooms or comes back and toss their things everywhere. When a child goes out, the child is going to do the same thing. And at the end of the day, there are hosts who want them to come back again. Think about it. You don't want someone who comes to boarding you, right? So that's the first thing. You need to teach your child to be responsible for themselves by assigning age-appropriate responsibilities. It is not even negotiable. You want to sit them down and teach them how to add value, because it's easy for them to just go out and just forget themselves. So you want to teach them what it means to add value, why it is important for them to add value, and how to add value. You want to teach them things like, when you go to a place, make sure you leave that place better than you met that place. You want to teach them that when you go to a place, make sure you contribute more than you consume. You want to teach them that when you go to a place, make sure you make the place easier and not more difficult. You want to teach them that when you get to a place, make sure you solve problems and not create problems. Make sure you are helpful. You want to teach them, always find a way to help. You get to a place, you go and visit your auntie, you visit anybody, you meet them on a task, offer to help. It doesn't cost you anything to help. It just leaves an impression. You leave a mark where you are going to or where you are. You leave a mark there. So always offer to help. You want to teach them to respect boundaries. Everyone has boundaries. You go and visit someone, you respect their boundaries. You shouldn't be seen jumping into their rooms, or they say, don't come here, that's where you want to go, or they say, oh, this plate is reserved for daddy, this place is reserved for mom, and that's the place your child wants to eat with, and your child begins to throw tantrums. They don't want to eat or anything because that is what they want to use. And you need to teach your children when they are at home and when they are not at home. When they are not at home, there's a way they behave. It is called etiquette. You are visiting. There are certain rules you should uphold when you are visiting. Teach them to ask before taking. Take permission before using things. You are visiting. Take permission before using things. Take permission before looking through people's things. Take permission before opening the refrigerator. Before going to places, just don't stand up and begin to find your way around the place. You ask to be led. You ask to be shown. No matter how much your host tells you, oh, feel at home, oh, relax, you still need to know that you are not at home, because you can be too relaxed. Yes, you can be too relaxed in a place that is not your home. Now, sometimes it's not always all about service, what you do. It also be words, what they are saying. So teach your kids to be kind with words, to always look at how to support people. I remember one time I was teaching in this school and they were asked to do a particular thing, and one of the children had done hers and she didn't do it well. She felt very bad, so she was complaining about it. And her friend met her and was telling her, oh, look at it from this angle. This is actually very fine, at least. Or if you don't like it this way, we can just see how we can improve on it. Her friend was able to bring them together to problem solve, to think through what they were going to do. And that was remarkable. That is how you add value to people. Someone is feeling bad, you are not going there to tear the person down. Oh, good for you. Oh, what were you even thinking? Didn't you see that? Oh, this thing is so horrible. The person is already feeling bad enough. So what your child wants to do is to lift them up and not tear them down. I teach preteens in church, and on Sundays when we close, I literally always have to drag them back to sweep, even though I talk to them every single Sunday about it. I have to drag them back to sweep. No, teach them to leave a mark. They should be useful. Where are they running to? They're running out to be playing, and it will take them 2-3 minutes to come together to sweep. In fact, if we have 5 of them sweeping in the space we use, they won't take more than 1 minute each to sweep. So teach them to always find a way to help. Be useful. Look for what you can do and do it. Don't always think of taking and taking. Think of giving. Teach them to give, and give selflessly. It is one thing preteens and teens do. They go visit a friend or a relative, and they are leaving. They just take something without the person's permission. Nah, it's a no-no. They never know how important that thing is to that person they have taken. They should never take without the person's permission. Nah, sometimes they feel, oh, I love it. Sometimes they feel, oh, he has a lot. No. It is one way they are not adding value. Where they go, they must learn to ask, can I take this? And if the person says no, their lives don't depend on it. If the person says no, they are not going to take it. You don't want to be someone who goes somewhere, you take what is not yours, and the next time you are coming to visit, the person is hurriedly putting their things away because, hey, they don't want you visiting again, or they don't want you taking their things. To promote peace, teach them emotional intelligence, teach them how to resolve their differences peacefully, amicably. If they learn this at home, when they go outside, it becomes easy for them actually to resolve their differences amicably. You don't want to have kids when they are coming to visit. The host will say, no, I don't want them, because each time they come here, they are always fighting. They are fighting and they don't know when to stop. You tell them to stop, they don't know when to stop. So teach them emotional intelligence. Teach them to resolve their differences peacefully all of the time. Now here's a very big one. Your children need to learn to be flexible. I know at home, oh, they don't eat XYZ, they don't eat ABC. But when they go out to visit, as long as they are not allergic, teach them that you are not at home. You are not at home. So you don't know this person, their capacity. You don't know how much they have. You don't know the effort they put into welcoming you, preparing everything for you, and you come here, you are selecting, you don't eat this, you put them under a great deal of pressure. I tell you, if I have a child that comes to visit me and puts me under a great deal of pressure, I have to start thinking, racking my head what the child will eat. I may not want that child to visit again, and I'm sure you will not want that child to visit again. So if you don't want that child to visit again, it means that your children's host will not want them to visit again. If they visit with that attitude, your children should learn to be flexible. Yes, they may not eat that particular food at home, but as long as they are not allergic to it, they should learn to be flexible. Just be flexible. Teach them that. They visit people, they appreciate what they are giving, they accept what they are giving. They teach your children to minimize the complaint. Some children, they complain at home a great deal. Then when you go outside, no. When you complain too much, you are not adding value. You are literally stressing your host. You have children like, people don't have light. In my house, we have solar light. We always have light. How people don't subscribe to Netflix? In my house is Netflix. So who see does DSTV? How people don't eat bread for breakfast? In my house is bread we eat for breakfast. So who eats rice for breakfast? You people don't watch movies late in the night. Your house is boring. Your food is not tasty. Teach them. No, they are not adding value. They are just becoming annoying and irritating. Your kids, your toddlers, I can understand your toddlers who don't have control. Yes, who don't have control yet. But as soon as your kids become like 5, even 4, you can begin to tell them something. You can begin to teach them to be patient, to be appreciative. You begin to teach them. You let them know that you are going out. You know, you teach them. I watched a video recently. A mom was teaching the son, I think about 4 years old, that we are going visiting. So what are we going to do? And the boy was saying, okay, when I get there, I'm not going to fight over toys. I'm going to be thankful for what I'm giving. The boy was telling the mom what he was going to do, how he was going to behave. And I said to myself, this is fantastic. This is amazing. Teach your kids to obey rules and regulations. They are going out, they are going to visit. They should learn to obey rules and regulations, especially if your children are teens and they are preteens already. They need to obey rules and regulations. You go to a house and I've had children come to my house before, and my kids told them that we don't watch a particular channel, and they were insisting on watching that channel to the extent that my kids came to tell me, and I told them, we don't watch that channel, we don't watch that channel. So that is it. You know, teach them to obey simple rules and regulations. The rules and regulations may not make sense to them. It is not theirs. It is not theirs. They are just privileged to be visiting that place. So they should obey rules and regulations. And this is all for today. I hope you have learned. If you've learned, please do where to subscribe, do where to like, do where to share. Leave your comment, leave your question, and I will definitely come back to take your questions if there are any. And I will also come back to read your comments. And I will appreciate you sharing and mentioning this channel anywhere, or mention this channel, mention it in your children's PTA, mention this channel in your, copy the link and share your children's PTA, your church groups, your alumni groups, anywhere you have parents, copy the link of this channel and share, so that we have parents coming here and learning.